Welcome back to SN Studios. Today we've got a gripping story straight from the streets of Manchester. A Turkish crime lord moved to the UK to set up one of Britain's biggest heroin smuggling rackets after he was kicked out of Germany for international drug trafficking. Fikri Yarasir had been deported and barred by German government officials after he was jailed for 10 years for importing heroin from his native Turkey into the city of Frankfurt in 1997. But after his release from prison, mustachioed Yarasir, nicknamed Mario due to his likeness to the video game character, moved to the Derbyshire market town of Glossop, where he set up a pizza takeaway Yummies and began a new drug smuggling operation. Police acting on a tip-off kept watch on Fikri Yarasir and followed an HGV from Dover to a warehouse in Salford near Manchester, where he was seen unloading the drugs hidden inside a cargo of tables. Officers raided the premises and found 210 kilos of Eshin in 420 half-kilo blocks worth an estimated £63 million. The drugs had come from Istanbul in Turkey and were due to be taken to Rhyl in North Wales, where the drugs would be prepared before being sold across the north of England. Fikri Yarasir was jailed for 25 years on April 2018, but details of his background emerged today after the last of his gang was jailed. He appeared to be involved in the purchase of a factory in Turkey, worth £1 million, even though he claimed to be earning as little as £12,000 a year in the UK from 2011 to 2017. It is not known how he was able to settle in Britain, the lengths the gang went to try and conceal the drugs, cover their tracks and evade police capture, would have been impressive had they not failed at simple hurdles like leaving fingerprints and traceable bank transfers. Police began their investigation named Operation Cartoon in October 2016, after surveillance officers observed a number of interactions between a group of criminals, including a cash deal for the purchase of a forklift truck. Fikri Yarasir was seen meeting an articulated lorry with a Turkish registration plate and leading it to the industrial unit where he and one of his takeaway employees were seen moving the cargo of furniture inside. While the warehouse was unattended, officers entered the unit and found 42 tables in a side room with cellophane around them which looked untidily and hurriedly stacked. They broke open each one. They found a void between the top and underside, revealing 10x 500-gram bags containing heroin. Forensic tests proved the heroin was of such high purity that it would yield a street value of around £63 million. On the same day, officers entered a lockup in Rhyl and discovered equipment set up for a bash house, a place where drugs can be diluted with other substances to increase value in onward supply. It included a hydraulic press for compressing drugs into bespoke fabricated molds. Inquiries revealed a business called Freight Forward Ltd was set up to help the gang import the drugs into the UK, with the only customer being Yarasir. Financial checks showed large amounts of money being paid to Freight Forward Ltd over several months, which was linked to Yarasir. A couple were used as drug mules to transport money to Turkey on various occasions, a few days at a time, taking large amounts of cash with them and returning to the UK with significantly lighter luggage. Officers worked out that the missing weight was the cash they were spending, which totaled around £500,000, all on behalf of Yarasir, who was arrested at his takeaway. Yarasir denied wrongdoing, claiming he had been gaining intelligence on his co-accused with the plan to become a police informant. He claimed he has been exploited by his employee Ahmet Taskin and a Korean woman living in Spain, who he knew as a customer at his takeaway. But he was convicted of conspiracy to import heroin and conspiracy to supply heroin after a 2-month trial. Brian Kennedy, of Fife in Scotland, who was in charge of the logistics to bring the drugs into the UK, was jailed for 18 years. Drug mules Paul Livesey and his partner Catherine Fearon, both of Gorton, were jailed for 15 years and 9 years respectively. Ahmet Taskin of Glossop was jailed for 13.5 years. David Mulligan, of No Fixed Address, was jailed for 17 years, and Stephen Hindley of Kinmel Bay, Rhyl, was jailed for 15 years. All were convicted of drug offences. Remember to like, share and subscribe to SN Studios for more investigative updates.